So, when it comes to the government, they're in love with two things. The first thing is that they love to waste your money. And the second thing is that they love to waste your time. But when it comes to doing both of those at the same time, I gotta tell you, it really gets the government going. Because it says that every home in England is set to have 4 different bins under major new rules. And you imagine that. 4 different bins. And in a moment, I'll show you what sort of bins they are. But have we really got to the point in time where we've got to have 4 individual types of bins? Because back in the day, right, you must admit, you could put anything in that general waste bin and they would take it. Almost no questions asked. You know, is it on fire? They'd take it. Does it smell? Well, they'd still take that. Can you hear voices coming from the bin? Well, back in the day, they'd probably take that too. I hope not. I hope they would say something if they heard voices coming from the bin. And they're calling this process the Simpler Recycling in England Policy Update. 4 bins. It's not making it any simpler, is it? Because you've got general waste, then you've got recycling. There's no need for anything else. You know what really annoys me as well? That previous article, they didn't actually tell us what sort of bins they were. You imagine that? I'm getting annoyed now. Writing an article about bins, 4 different types of bins, and then not even explaining what type of bins they actually are. That's the whole point of the article. Honestly, so we've moved to another website now, a much more capable website. That's unbelievable. But it says that the plan suggests that the 4 bins will be residual, which is basically general waste. We'll call that general waste. So far, so good. Then you get to food waste as well, which, not being funny, stick that in the general waste. But it's these little green bins that they try and just get people to put their food waste into. Then they come round on a separate day and just collect these green bins. But it's only once a week. So let's say over the summer, you've got milk, cereal, spaghetti bolognese, leftover beef burgers, some cheese because maybe there were cheeseburgers, far better. And now you've got to have that in a little green bin, just sat there cooking in the summer heat. I don't know, they're calling this simplified. But we're only on bin number 2. And then you got bin number 3 here for paper and card. Again, I'm not exactly Greta Thunberg, but just stick it in the recycling, do you know what I mean? And then we've got all other dry recyclable materials, such as plastic, metal and glass. And I hate to say it, right, but it's kind of like when you go to the self-checkout at a supermarket. It does kind of feel like we're just turning into an employee. And sooner or later, when it comes to these bins, couple years' time, they're going to say, if you could just put it in the van for if you could just pick it up and chuck it in the back of the van for us, that'd be excellent. And then a year after that, they're like, I tell you what, fella, here's the keys. Do you want to drive the bin lorry for us as well? Meanwhile, we've got our own situations going on. But here comes the council with 4 different bins. And another point as well, a lot of people don't have houses. They'll live in flats and similar places. So do they really have the space to be putting 4 bins? Imagine if you got, 100 apartments above you? That's 400 bins in the surrounding area? I don't think they thought that, it's the government. They definitely ain't thought this one through. But honestly, genuinely speaking, what do these people do? They live in high-rise flats. Now they've got 400 bins on base level. So I gotta tell you, I've had a very bad week when it comes to people. And to see that the government's trying to give me 4 different bins to look after, when I've already got 2 kids and a job. No, I'm probably just going to put it all in the general waste bin and just go from there. But let me know what you think. Are you excited to get 4 different bins? Or like myself, do you just want to go back in the day when they'd take the bin even if someone was inside it? I've never done that. I know I keep saying it, I've never done that, right? I've got a clean sheet. I don't like people, but I've never taken it that far. And if you enjoyed this daily Clown World video, then I'd highly recommend to check out this one. Because whilst we've got 4 different bins, Somalia has just been given £50 million. Why? I don't even think they've got 1 bin. Oh no, that's too much. I might need to take that one out.
This country has gone crazy.